Our project this week is going to be a close-up of a peacock. I think that peacocks are fabulous creatures. Loved them since I was a child. The colors, the just kind of grandeur of them, I think is really, really cool. So we are going to, I'm going to use a Sharpie, an ultrafine Sharpie, to outline what I've drawn so you can see it well. You do not need to use this. We are going to be using our colored pencil set, and so you can use a black, or this one's would work as well, a blue indigo, something dark to do your line work. I just wanted this to show up a little bit more on the video. So I gave you a start with the head, which is centered up on the paper, and I will trace what I gave you. There you go. I also included the beak because I found when I was drawing it that it actually is a little tricky to do. So I wanted to help you out a little bit. Okay, so that's where now we're all started. Okay, so the first thing that I want you to do is draw, and I'll pull this paper up a little bit, is just draw the rest of the body. The body, actually, with the body and the head, from this angle, it looks a little bit like a bowling pin. Okay, so you want that, and you want it to go all the way down. And then we'll go back up here and start working on the eye. So it's a rather big eye for such a little head, but we're going to do an oval, kind of a thick oval. And then we're going to make a sideways tear duct and a little circle here, and those are going to be our highlights on our eye. And then there's a little bit of color on the top of the eye. And going from the eye to the beak. So the eye is black, but there's lots of interesting things going on around it color-wise. We're going to make these kind of a yellow. And we want to put the little nose hole there on the beak. And while I'm slowing down, because I don't want to go too fast for you, of course you can pause the video if you need to. Get rid of some of my pencil lines here, particularly on my areas where I'm going to leave it white. There we go. Okay, so next we're going to do, this is actually, they have a kind of a black throat. So we're just going to do a line that will create that. And then they have some black on their back, so we're only going to see a little bit of that from our angle. So it's going to look like that. There's no black up here, it just goes up to the eye and the beak. And then they have their crown on the top of their head. And we're just going to make a simple one. They kind of fan out, the lines fan out. And then we can put circles on the top of it. And the circles can touch. So that's it really for the body of the bird. But when they have their feathers out, if you've seen a peacock feather before, they're very long, and they have areas where they have a design, a concentration of color. So the first thing that we're going to do is just draw a series of nice size ovals all around the body of the bird. We don't want them to be close, because if you recall, the tail feathers are quite long. So we're just going to do the outside line to get our feather designs kind of going around the bird's body and head as we want. Then we'll go back and put some more detail on them. Don't make them all the same size. Some can be smaller, some can be larger, but I'm going to kind of march it around. Okay. Now that's the hard work of this step. The easier work is that you're going to make some ovals within the ovals. So we're going to go one, so it kind of makes a border, and then we're going to do a smaller one and then a smaller one that makes a border with that. So you do the same design on all of them. Okay, so then ones where we can see the ovals, where we can see the tops, they have an interesting little design that's kind of like a triangle that sits on top of that oval, and then it's almost like eyelashes. So I'll do another one. Sorry for that weird noise in the background. It's my computer making some odd noises. So it's like a triangle. Now the ones that are cropped off, going off the edge of the paper, obviously we don't do that. So we'll go over here to this one. Doesn't matter if you've got your eyelashes going either any way, it's fine. You just want them to look feathery. Okay, so that is the tail feathers. We have one more thing to do, but before we do that, we're going with the tail feathers, but they do have wings. Peacocks sleep up in trees, so they have the ability to be in flight a little bit, but on either side, I mean, they can't fly great distances, but they do have wings, sort of like chickens. They can take flight a little bit. But we want to make these kind of bumpy, for lack of a better word, with some scalloped lines. And we'll talk more about that as we're going to be doing our coloring. And then we want to draw the spine of the feathers. And they come from obviously the back side of the bird. And so what I want you to do, I want to make sure that one of these goes to each of the designs that we just drew. So we're going to, and then we'll come back and fill in. Okay, and now we can fill in, again, going from the back of the bird out to the edge of the paper. They don't have to be straight. They can be curved in different ways. But we do want them to be at kind of an angle going out, so, because it's kind of like a fan. And you can turn your paper around if that makes it easier for you to get to where you need your lines to be. Okay. So we are done with the drawing. And now we will get out our colored pencils and work on applying color to our drawing. If you need to take a break right now, now is a good time. Okay, so now we're ready to put some color on it. And as I said, we've got some yellow around here. We're using our colored pencils. And I don't have a black colored pencil, so I'm going to just make do with my marker. Okay, so that's what the eye should look like. And then this is a dark blue. You could use a lighter blue, but I seem to have misplaced many of my blues. So I'll get you started on this, and then you can see what the finished product should look like. So we have blue. And when you put your pencil on its side to color, you need to rotate it every so often, or else you'll end up with a flat-sided pencil lead. So if you have a lighter blue in your kit, I would recommend that you do that instead of this dark blue. I'm going to make it a little bit darker around the edges. And then this is black. So since I don't have all of my pencils with me at this time, what I'll do is I will give you a finished picture of it, and then you can use that as your coloring guide. Hope you enjoy this project. Thank you.